what it really do, DC gang. Welcome back to the channel, my boys, my gangsters. As always, I hope you guys are having a great day out there, gang. Shit. Now with that being said, for you guys today, I got it on me, the new TISTINA deck. Now I'm gonna give you my deck list, but because this deck is technically a better going second deck, I'm gonna show you an alternative. So before we get into all the shenanigans, just please remember, quick reminder to please leave a like, share, comment, and subscribe to the boy, because I would greatly appreciate it. Now let me show you the other deck list. Alright, so I decided to give you guys an alternative to my deck list if you guys are actually crazy enough to play this deck, because I'm gonna tell you whether it's good or bad in a second. But for going second wise, I think that my guy here, Gadriel, did a really good job. This is probably the best thing that you could do if you're gonna play the deck going second. Here's the whole deck list so you guys see it. If not, just go to masterduelmeta.com and just look for the only deck that's up there. This is the only deck list that's up there right now. You have 3 lightning stone, which is why I don't play the deck going second, because I don't have 3 of these. I only have 1. And then the rest of the shenanigans, I like playing it better the way I was playing it. So for going second wise, if you're actually crazy enough to play the deck, look at this deck list and try and figure it out with this one. Let's go back. Alright, so here we are back at my deck list. Now I want to tell you really quick, bro, and I don't want you to click off the video because of this, but I have to be honest, because I don't like my people's wasting gems. It's not something I'm gonna do to you, bro. Is this deck good or bad? This deck is hot potato dumpster juice. It's straight ass, bro. You could grab this deck, drag it across the beach, and call it Sandy Cheeks, because that's how ass this deck is, bro. It honestly, it might not be that bad. Maybe I suck with the deck, but you'll see. I have saucy replays though, so you might want to see that. Either way, let's get right into the deck list. I'm running 3 Fallen of the Tistinian, or TISTINA. They should have called it Tistinian. But either way, TISTINA, this thing has 2 effects that you care about, but it only has 2 effects. But either way, it's going to activate from the hand, and it's basically just going to set one of your field spell in the back, and well, in the field zone. And then its other effect is that if any one of your spells gets popped by your opponent, you get to special summon 1 Light of the Tistinian from your hand, deck, or graveyard, which is going to be either one of these level 10s right here, because you only play 2 Light Tistinians. There are only 2 Light Tistinians. So those are the only 2 effects you care about. If you're wondering why I'm playing the field spell at 2 when I have it at 3, just in case, it's because I mainly played it at 2. I didn't have 3. I just pulled it randomly in a recent pull that I did, but I was playing it with 2, so I'm gonna show you 2. Then I'm playing Maxi at 3 because Maxi recent, this deck gets carried by Maxi a lot of the time, but even with Maxi you might not even get carried depending on what your opponent does. Then we're gonna play 1 Return of the Tistinian. I'm gonna call them Tistinian because it sounds better. Either way, this thing has 2 effects. Basically, in the graveyard, it can attach itself to this specific monster right here. This is a 6 monster. And then from the hand, if you have any Tistinian monster on the field, which is a really cool effect in my opinion, it's going to activate and become that monster's level on the field. So if you have a level 10, you activate this thing, target your level 10, this thing special summons itself, it becomes a level 10. Same thing for the level 3, becomes a level 3, and the same thing for the level 4, it becomes a level 4. That's all you care about, that's all it does. Other than that, it's just a level 2 fire aqua monster. So then we're gonna play Ash Blossom at 2, and it's only because Ash Blossom is not necessarily all that great. And in this deck, depending on how you do your combo, you might not care about Maxi. You mainly care about Maxi going second if you're gonna OTK, because you're gonna have to special summon a few times. And if they have anything that can stop you, aka Nibiru, or if their field is open and they have infinite impermanence in the hand, you're gonna get waxed. It's just gonna happen, bro. So I'm only playing it at 2. If you wanna play it at 3, play it at 3. Some people don't even play Ash Blossom in this deck. I think 2 is fine. Then I'm playing 1 Ghost Bell of the Haunted Mansion because it's so good. That's pretty much it. I just like Ghost Bell right now, and I need at least 1 copy. If not, this will be the 3rd copy of Ash Blossom. That's it. Then we're playing 1 Sentinel of the Tistinian. This is the best Tistinian card, in my opinion, in terms of starting. You're gonna normal summon this thing, pop itself. You're most of the time gonna search out your Demigod of the Tistinian, special summon it. This thing gets to come back on the field, but when you special summon this, you get to search out any one of your spells. And you're gonna see in the replays how this all works. So I really like this thing. Most of the time you want to open up with this thing and Tistinian because it gives you a full combo, but you play this at 3. Then we play 200 of the TISTINA, and this thing is crazy sauciness. It's going to allow you to attack directly. If this thing is on the field, all of your TISTINA cards get to slap your opponent directly, which is insane against Snake Eyes, because you don't have to send anything to the graveyard. You just slap them in the face through their monsters, which is insane. So that's why you play this thing at 2. Also, it special summons itself if you have this thing on the field or the other level 10. And then it special summons itself from the hand or graveyard, which is really nice. Then I am playing one Tainted of the TISTINA. This thing can be nuts or it could be a little brick. But this thing basically, if you doing your combo, which you're gonna see in the replays, if your opponent has a monster face down and you have this thing on the field, this thing allows you to basically normal summon twice. But what you could do is activate this, trigger your face down opponent monster, special summon it, it becomes a level 10. Then you could attach it to this thing specifically with the God of TISTINA, and then you detach itself. This thing is going to activate in the graveyard, and it allows you to attack twice with this thing, which is going to have 4,000 attack. And if you have the Haunted, you basically won the game because you attack directly, which is insanity. But you could only remember this because I messed up. You could only attack with the monster you activate this thing's effect for. So you can't attack with any other monster besides this thing if you activate its effect. Remember that. Or whatever monster that you made it so it could attack twice. Then we're gonna run 3 Demigod of TISTINA, and you have to run this thing. This deck revolves around having this thing on the field at all times. It technically revolves around having this thing on the field too, but this thing is way harder to get on the field than the Demigod of TISTINA, which in my opinion this deck should not have any URs. This deck should be free to play. High key, Konami, you have a problem. This should not be a UR at all whatsoever. They made a UR because you technically can't play the deck without this. So of course it's a UR. Stupid. Then we're playing 2 Crystal God TISTINA. I'm gonna keep calling it that. I was playing it at 3, but this thing can be annoying to have in the hand sometimes. It also can be good to have in the hand sometimes. But I found myself to be alright with it at 2. If you want to bump it up to 3 because you're crazy enough to play the deck, do so. Then we're playing 1 Nibiru. You could definitely bump Nibiru to 2. Again, I just really like the ratios that I made with this deck list right here and how I was playing it. So 1 Nibiru, if you want to bump it up to 2, do so. Then I'm playing 2 Divine Domain Bestinian, which is a cool name. Deck is kind of cool and surprisingly just kind of bad. But I played at 2. Again, I just recently got the 3rd copy. I was playing the deck like this, so I'm gonna show it to you like this. If you want to bump it up to 3, you can, and you probably should, but you're fine with it at 2, honestly speaking. Then I am playing 1 Breath of the TISTINA. This thing is really cool. So basically you set this down. This is one of the reasons why this deck is good going second, but also not really. So if you have this thing on the field and your opponent hasn't activated anything to get rid of it, or ashed it when you activate it, because every card in this deck can get ashed, or almost every card, the majority, the important cards in this deck can get ashed. If you have this on the field, or if you have this on the field, you get to activate this and flip one of your opponent's face of monsters face down so you could search one of your cards. Extremely good. It also allows you to normal summon twice, which is really good, specifically TISTINA cards. So that's mainly it. Other than that, it has another effect which basically says, well, actually no, those are all the effects. Then I'm playing 2 Book of Eclipse now. This thing can be good and can be not so great. I like the fact that it flips monsters face down, but I don't like the fact that your opponent gets to draw cards at the end turn. I mean, for going second reason, this thing is really good because you're trying to OTK half of the time. But there's a lot of specific things that you have to do with this deck to even OTK. So I'm running it at 2. Then I'm running 2 Call by the Graves, 1 Crossout Designator. Then we're playing 3 Play of the TISTINA, because you can't play the deck without this thing. It's just, you can, but you don't want to. You definitely have to play this at 3. This thing allows you to special summon 1 TISTINA monster from your hand or graveyard in defense position. But because this deck is so busted, you have to basically during the end phase return that monster back to the hand. So not so great, which I understand why they probably did this, because if you bring this thing onto the field, flip everything face down, during your turn you're gonna be able to just basically get rid of the board. But so what, Konami? So what? You couldn't let this deck have that out of all the broken things that we have in this game? So what, Konami? Anyways, I'm mad, bro, because this deck could have been really decent. But either way, I'm playing 2 Infinite Impermanence because Infinite Impermanence is really good right now. And then I'm playing 2 Destructive Durama Karma Cannon because this thing is nuts. For my extra deck, I'm playing one number 3 Sinkara King. Because sometimes if you do the combo, you might end up with this thing on the field, which is technically an Infinite Impermanence on leg. It's really cool. So I play 1 copy of it. Then I'm playing 1 Super Dreadnought Rail Cannon because this is going to allow you to burn your opponent, and then you go into the other one, which is this one, and then you get to have a big body stick that can attack twice. Then we have 1, you could basically put any level 10 monsters that you want in here that you think will be beneficial to you. So I have the Super Dimensional Robo Galaxy for backward removal or spell and trap removal. Also, it has 5,000 attack, which is insanity. Then I'm playing 1 Skypalus Gangardia, which is basically a big body stick, but also you could activate this thing, pop a card on the field, and burn your opponent for 1,000, and then you could go into your Super Dreadnought Rail Cannon as well from there, slap something and make it Zeus. Then I'm playing 1 number 81 Super Dreadnought. This thing, basically, if you don't have an out to anything and you want to play the Bagushka game, because this thing is technically Bagushka except for your opponent gets to make a board, you could activate this thing and it becomes unaffected from everything, and it has 4,000 defense, which is nuts. So you could do that. Then I'm playing 1 number 35 Ravenous Tarantula. Then we're playing 2 Tistinian the Divine that defies darkness. You could definitely play this thing at 1. I just copied 2 shiny ones, so I play it at 2. And then again, like I said, Super Dreadnought Rail Cannon, 1 number 77 the 7 Sins, 1 Divine Arsenal aka Double Zeus, 1 Nightmare Phoenix, 1 Nightmare Unicorn, 1 Black Luster Soldier, and 1 Access Code Talker. So that is the deck list. Enough with the yapping, there's not much to say. Let's get into the replays, which I destroyed Snake Eyes ironically a few times. So let's get into that. Oh, right, familia, here we are for replay numero 1, number 1 of the day, and we are going first against the Eyes of the Snake. So we're gonna activate the Breath of the Tistinian. Well, it's gonna activate immediately if you normal summon, because it's basically telling you still have another normal summon. But either way, we're gonna normal summon the Sentinel, activate its effect to pop itself, and like I said, almost every card in this engine can be Ash. So we're gonna get Ash, unfortunately. So here I'm gonna activate Breath of the Tistinian to flip this thing into face down defense position so I could get my Demigod. We're going to activate its effect to special summon it. This thing special summons itself based on you having a Justinia card. It could be your spell, so that's really good. We're going to activate its effect to search our field spell, activate the field spell. We're going to activate the Sentinel because if you have a Justinia, one of the level 10 light monsters, this thing can special summon itself. We're going to send the Fallen of the Justinia and set down our field spell. Now, there's no specific combo to this deck, but the reason why I did this is because just in case we get slapped, we have more bodies. What I would have done was get 2 level 3s on the field and make the Sinkara King, but because I had to flip this face down, I couldn't do it, right? But we have the play of the Tistinian, which is going to allow us to special summon the God, the Crystal God. Most of the time with this thing, you would send this thing to the graveyard so you could special summon it with your play. But because we had it in the hand, I just sent this thing. Just in case our spells get popped, we could special summon other copies. So they activate the Wanted because they want this W. They're going to search out the Alba Star. So here they're going to activate the Alba Star, sending the Dramatic Snake Eye to the graveyard, activating the Alba Star to set the original spoils. In the back row, activate the original spoils, send the Alba Star to the graveyard. I'm going to activate my play of the Tistinian to special summon my Crystal. Bring her out here. So here they're going to special summon the Ash, activate the Ash effect, getting themselves the Polar. Here they're going to activate the Polar to special summon itself, activating Polar to get themselves a Sinful Spoil. So now I know that this thing says target 1 face-up monster your opponent control, yada yada yada. This seems like a good place to activate our monster. So I'm going to activate my Demigod, flipping all monsters face down defense position. They're going to activate the Wanted, recycling the spoils to draw a card, setting down the Divine Temple, activating that thing's effect, setting Ash in the back row, normal summoning the Oak so they could activate the Oak's effect, so they could get a Flameberg onto the field, activate Flameberg, bring back the Alba Star. They're going to activate the Sinful Spoil Subversion, putting my crystal in the back row, and then slapping my demigod with the Flameberg, setting down 2 back row and ending their turn, right? So okay, here we're gonna join to another demigod locally for us. They're gonna activate the Flameberg, special summon Diablo Star, activate Diablo Star, set down the original Sinful Spoils in the back row. So here we're gonna activate our domain, sending the Hound to the graveyard, special summoning a crystal. Oh yeah, this thing has another effect that I might have forgot to tell you about. So besides sending a card to the graveyard, if your opponent has 3 face-up cards on the field, you get to special summon one of your level 10s, right? So we special summon the Crystal God. Now we're gonna activate this thing's effect, so we could flip this thing face down, defense position, flip this thing up, activate this thing's effect, which basically says during your main phase you could change as many monsters your opponent controls as possible to face down defense position. Then you can send all face-up cards your opponent controls to the graveyard. So I could have sent this thing to the graveyard, flip this down to defense position, right? But of course they have the infinite impermanence, which I thought they did, so I had to bait that thing out, which I'm perfectly fine with, because now I'm gonna activate my domain, which they're gonna call by the grave my domain that's in the graveyard, which again I'm also perfectly fine with. My main thing that I wanted to do was just make sure that my Hound was in there and that I could special summon it. So here they're gonna call by the grave my demigod, so I don't get to special summon it from the hand. So now I'm gonna activate my Hound, special summon it onto the field, activate my Tainted so I could get this face down defense position monster out of here, which was the Ash. Make sure it's not any other one of them because you're gonna trigger their effects. And right here we have 8,200 life points, and because I have the Hound, which he should have called by the grave, I get to attack directly, so he's gonna scoop. So when the deck works, bro, the deck works, because if we send the stupid Flameberg to the graveyard by any point choice in time, we're not gonna have a great day. So with that being said, let's go into the next replay. Alright gang, here we are for replay numero 2, number 2 of the day, and we're going second against Snake Eyes once again. So here they're gonna normal summon the Ash, activate that thing's effect. I'm gonna infinite impermanence that thing. Now this duel was 8 turns of pure dueling by me, because I was in the back wall. Either way, they're gonna activate the Divine Temple, set that thing in the back row, link up the Snake Eyes into the Link Kuribo. Because this deck is kind of slow if you don't get to OTK. It kind of works kind of slow. It depends on what your opponent can and can't do. But here we get the Sentinel. We're going to normal summon that thing. That's going to trigger them to special summon the Ash from the back row. So I'm going to call by the grave the Ash that's in the grave, so I can negate the Ash that just special summon onto the field. Get that thing out of here. So here we're going to activate the Sentinel to pop ourselves. And again, that thing is going to get ashed. Unfortunately, it is what it is. Stop that right there. So I go to the battle phase, gonna slap the Link Kuribo. They're gonna get it out of here. My attack is 0. I just wanted to send it to the graveyard, so that way they have to get rid of a level 1 monster to special summon that thing, right? So we're gonna set a Destructive Durama. They're gonna go for the battle phase, slap us in the face, get us out of here. And their turn, because that thing is negated, they can't activate anything on it, right? So here we're gonna join to our Demigod. We're gonna normal summon the Sentinel, activate the Demigod so we can special summon it. That thing can get Ash, by the way. We're gonna get the Breath of the Tistinian, activate that thing's effect. Activate its effect to flip our opponent face down because we have the Demigod on the field. Of course, they're gonna Link Kuribo that thing out of here, which is fine with us. We knew it was happening. So here we're gonna activate all the Sentinel, special summon it, activate Sentinel so I can pop this thing. We're gonna get effect veileted. It is what it is. That would have allowed us to start our OTK combo for sure, but we got stopped. So we're gonna use both of these level 3 monsters to go in the Sinkata King. Bring it out here. And we're gonna go for the battle phase, knowing that this thing's gonna go to 0. I don't care, I just wanna make Zeus. And then we're gonna slap him for the 2000 in the face. Link off my Sinkata King into the Zeus. Now, honestly speaking, maybe leaving the Sinkata King on the field might have been a little better, because it's technically an infinite impermanence on legs. But I decided to make the Zeus anyways, just in case they wanted to slap into it and do their combo. It is what it is. So here they're gonna normal summon the Ash once again. I'm gonna Ash the Ash, stop that right there. But of course they have their own call by the grave right now, so they're gonna give my Ash the finger, get it out of here. I'm not feeling joyous then. Nos vemos mañana. Stop that right there. Ash gonna activate, get himself the Polar. Polar's gonna activate, special summon itself from the hand onto the field. Activate the Polar, getting himself the simple spoil subversion. Here I'm gonna activate the Rama Cannon because this thing has to basically target a face-up card on the field. If there's no face-up cards on the field, they can't do that, right? So they're gonna activate Link Kuribo, send the Polar to the graveyard, so they can special summon Link Kuribo. We're gonna flip everything upside down. Link Kuribo has to go to the graveyard. They're gonna activate the Polar, set Polar in the back row, and end their turn, right? We're dueling, bro. So yeah, I'm gonna join to the B row. I'm gonna flip both of these monsters face up. I'm gonna attack this thing, and of course this thing can basically send face down level 1s to the graveyard because everything is perfectly balanced in this game, which is fine because I knew he would do that anyways. I know that this thing has to activate before the battle phase to be able to activate its effect. So we slap him, get it out of here, and then slap my opponent with the Zeus for the 3000. Activate my Breath of the TISTINA, flip this thing upside down so I can get another Demigod to the hand for follow-up next turn. So here they're going to activate the Sinful Spoil Subversion, so of course I'm going to activate my Divine Arsenal, aka Double Zeus, to wipe out the whole field. I don't have another option, right? Which we knew it was going to happen, it is what it is. Here they're going to activate the Polar, setting the Ash in the back row, activating the Wanted. Wanted's going to get them the Diablo Star. Here they're going to activate the Wanted, recycling the Subversion back to the deck so they could draw a card. Sending the Flameberg to the graveyard so they could special summon the Diablo Star. Activating the Diablo Star, they're going to activate Flameberg. Flameberg's going to special summon the Ash, special summon the Polar. Diablo Star is going to set down the spoils in the back row. They're going to activate the Ash, activate the Polar once again. Polar is going to get them the Temple, the second copy, because the other copy is in the graveyard. Ash is going to get them Oak, because they haven't normal summon yet. They're going to activate the Divine Temple, setting the Flameberg in their back row, activating the Ash, sending itself and the other Ash to the graveyard to special summon a Flameberg. Here they're going to normal summon the Oak, and luckily, this was their 5th summon. Luckily, because if not, I would have gotten washed. And look at it, this is 9300 damage. It was over. I activate Nibiru, give them the rock, Dwayne Johnson #2. They're gonna get a fat token, activate the Divine Temple, special summon the Snake Eyes, the Flameberg from the back row, putting my Nibiru in the back row, slapping me for the 3000. Get me out of here then. But like I said, again, this is the crazy part about me getting this thing. There has to be a TISTINA card on the field for me to be able to special summon this. Luckily for us, we joined to the Hound, normal summon the Hound. That's going to trigger them to special summon my Zeus to their side of the field. I'm going to activate the Demigod, and I think here they scoop, if I'm not mistaken. But basically, I get to attack directly. If you can't infinite impermanence that thing, we're done here. So here I'm going to get my Breath of the TISTINA, activate that thing's effect, flip my Zeus upside down, right, so I could search out another card, and then he scooped. He started reading and realizes that I can end the game at any point in time right now. So with that being said, let's go into the next replay. Right, gang, here we are for replay numero 3, and I think this one was against Labyrinth, if I'm not mistaken. Probably. Anyways, we open up a really good hand. I actually get to show you things here. We're gonna normal summon the Sentinel, activate the return of the TISTINA to make this thing a level 3. We're gonna get hit with Max C. And because of the way I'm doing the combo, I'm gonna call by the grave that thing, because a lot of the time your opponent might only get 1 card off of you, depending on how you do the combo, right? But either way, we're gonna call by the grave that thing, get it out of here. Since I don't have it in the hand, who cares? Special summon this thing, becomes a level 3, activate the Sentinel, pop itself. No, we're not, infinite impermanence. So just to let you know, what I was going to do was activate this thing, pop itself, get my Demigod, activate Demigod, get my field spell. The field spell is gonna send the crystal to the graveyard. I'm gonna set this down. I have 2 level 3s. I'm mixing Kata King. I have the Demigod on the field. I have my quick effect, special summon crystal on my opponent's turn, so I can activate this effect and flip the monster face down. But we got infinite impermanence, so none of that is happening. So we're gonna use 2 level 3 monsters to go into the Kata King. Defense position, that's all I have. So here our opponent is gonna sit down 3 and end their turn because we're playing against Labyrinth. We're gonna join to another Sentinel. They're gonna activate the Welcome Labyrinth, bringing the Lovely onto the field, activating the big Welcome. Welcome's gonna special summon the Lady Labyrinth, bring it back, activating Lovely Labyrinth to pop a card. I'm gonna activate my Cicada King to negate that thing. Stop that right there. But of course they have the Eradicator Pandemic. So now they activate that thing's effect. I'm gonna have to quick effect activate my play of the TISTINA, because if not it's gonna get destroyed. So activate its effect, special summon the Sentinel. This thing's gonna activate to pop up my spells. We don't get to negate anything, so they pop a card in my hand as well. They're gonna activate the Lady Labyrinth, special summon it, and now we get to play the game. I put Cicada King in attack position, activate my Sentinel, which is gonna get ashed every time, bro. It's gonna get ashed. I don't get to pop anything. So now I go to the battle phase, slap this thing in the back, I guess, not in the face. And then we're gonna make the Divine Arsenal, aka Double Zeus. And I'm gonna wipe the field. Yeah, immediately. Immediately. Why? Because they have the stupid this thing in the graveyard. I'm not gonna wait for them to activate this to bring this thing back to my hand or deck or whatever. So then this thing gets to activate instead of trapping the back row and become unaffected. I'm not allowing that. They don't have any cards. It is what it is. So here they're gonna draw a card. They draw into nothing. We have our follow right here. We have the Crossout Designator, which is going to get popped by the effect of the Eradicator. Put this thing in attack position. Activate the Sentinel. Pop myself. Get my breath for the Testinian. Now here, I kind of goofed. I think we could have, well, we could have ended the game, but we could have done more damage, and I'm going to show you how. But first, we're going to go to the battle phase, slap it for the 3000 with the Zeus. And this is what I mean. I could have activated this, flip Zeus, get my Demigod, special summon the Demigod, activate, search out the Divine Domain, activate its effect. We're going to activate the Sentinel in the graveyard. I could have put it in attack position, activate the Bloodhound, the Hound of the Tistina. I don't know why I called it that. But you're going to activate the Divine Domain, sending that Crystal Tistina, and this would have been more damage because we would have had 1200, 800 would have been 3, and then this thing would have been 5. So we could have done 5000 damage to the face, but it is what it is. Now this is what I mean by the deck is very specific. I can't flip monster's face down in this turn because I don't have a way to special summon this thing onto the field. So here they're gonna normal summon the Ariana, activate its effect, getting themselves the Chandelier so they can shine some light on the L that they're about to take. They're gonna activate the Stove because they think they're cooking now. Setting down the big Welcome in the back row, go for the battle phase, destroy my Hound. And that's all they wrote for that. So here we're gonna get ourselves the Fallen of the Testina. They're gonna activate the big Welcome. I can't do anything about it. They're gonna special summon the Lovely from the graveyard, send the Ariana back, activate the Lovely. They activate the Welcome Labyrinth, activating the Stovey in the graveyard as well, and activating the Chandelier. Do it then. So Chandelier, bring it back to the hand. Stovey gets to special summon itself, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah. And then the Welcome sets itself in the back row, and then they get to pop my card in the hand, which I'm fine with. So here I'm gonna flip the Zeus, activate the Breath of the Testinian because we have the Demigod. I can flip the Lovely, get myself my play of the Testinian, activate that thing's effect, special summon the Crystal onto the field, activate the Crystal, flip this thing face down, Crystal and Demigod. We're gonna go into the Divinity that defies the darkness. Activate that thing's effect, wipe the whole board, activate a second effect. I'm getting rid of a Mysterio because we have the Crystal inside of this thing. I get to basically double its attack. Then I'm going to activate the Divine Domain, sending the Tainted to the graveyard, activating the Tainted, activating the Hound because we have this thing on the field. I get to special summon it. Now here I could have attacked directly, it would have been game. But here, because I activated the Tainted, I basically made it so this thing can attack twice. I can only attack with this thing. So either way, slapping once, slapping twice. It would have been GG's regardless of anything else. But I got to show you a lot of the things that the deck does. So with that being said, let's go into the next replay. Right, familia, here we are for replay numero 4, number 4 of the day. And we're going first against Kashtira Sorso, which I want to actually play. Either way, we're going to activate the Divine Domain, activating our Demigod, special summon it, getting ourselves the play of the Tistinian, normal summon a Sentinel, activate the Sentinel, pop that thing in the face, get the return of the Tistinian, activate the Sentinel, special summon it, activate the return, target the level 3, becomes a level 3, 2 level 3, Sinkara King. Activate the Divine Domain, send that Crystal God to the graveyard because we do have a play of the Tistinian, set down our Infinite Impermanence and end our turn with Nibiru in the hand. Now most of the time this is your best play, this triple combo right here, and then whatever else hand trap or trap that you have. Now we lost this duel, but it was cool, so we're going to activate the Kashtira Fenrir. They're going to search out the Unicorn. Here they're going to activate the Strategist, sending the Vashuda to the graveyard, so I'm going to activate my play of the Tistinian, so we could special summon the God of the Tistinian. Now the crazy thing about this is that, for example, if I wanted to quick effect activate this now and flip this, you can't do that. You have to wait for them to activate or do something, which is insanity. But either way, that thing gets a special summon. I get to activate my Demigod, flip everything upside down. They have the triple tactics talent because they're just talented like that. They're going to take care of my Sinkara King, activate the Taya, banishing a social card. I'm going to Infinite Impermanence that thing so they don't Synchro Summon. Stop that right there. Now we lost this duel because our opponent is just crazy lucky. Because they're going to slap this thing, make a Divine Arsenal, aka Double Zeus. I'm going to Nibiru everything on the field now. They're going to activate the Zeus, which congratulations. You're just helping me out. Because smaller token for you. So special summon the Rock. We're going to put it in attack position because we know we could attack over it. We don't really want it in defense if I have to slap. Now we're going to activate the play of the Tistinian, special summon the Demigod. That's going to trigger the Sentinel. We're not triggered it, but we could activate the Sentinel, pop itself, give myself the return of the Tistinian, activate that thing's effect, target the level 10, it becomes a level 10. So we're going to go into the Rail Cannon, do stuff max. We're going to detach a material so we could burn our opponent for 2000 in the face. Then Exceed summon into the Juggernaut. Liebe. Activate that. Well, no, I decided not to activate its effect because then I could only attack with it, but we could do more damage by leaving the Nibiru and being able to attack with it. So I attack for the 4000 and then attack for the 3000 with the Nibiru. And then we're going to Exceed summon into the Divine Arsenal, aka Double Zeus. And here, look at this. Look at the craziness, because this is the only reason we lost. They're going to special summon the Unicorn, activate the Unicorn, get the birth. They're going to set down the birth. And here, I Zeus immediately, right? Because what else are they supposed to do? Even if they have another Unicorn, you already use Unicorn's effect. I don't really care. It is what it is. Wipe the board. But of course, our opponent is built different. It has a Kurikara, which is the only reason they won. Because if they didn't have this, we slap them with the Zeus on my turn. But of course, it is what it is. We get slapped for the 3000. We could speed this up from here. They're going to activate, take my Sentinel. And here I join to an Infinite Impermanence, set that thing down because there's not much else I can do with it. Here my objective was to try and survive. So they're going to normal summon an Ash, and because of all of the shenanigans, they make a Yancy. Yancy, your opponent cannot target this card on the field with card effects. Do you know what that means? I can't use Infinite Impermanence on that thing. They activate its effect, pop this thing in the face, activate the Yancy, special summon the Taya, activate Taya, banish Taya to get a level 4 token, go into the Grandmaster, activate Taya, send the Udara to the graveyard, get the Social Sacred Summit to special summon the Yancy. That's more than lethal damage right there. Nos vemos mañana. It is what it is. But we could have won the game. If it wasn't for the Kurikara, it was GG. So I had to show you the replay anyways. So with that being said, let's go into the last replay. It's another replay against Snake Eyes. And this replay shows you almost everything that the deck does. I should have probably started with this one. But I used Max E, so I didn't want to. So let's get into it. Alright, gang, here we are for replay number 5. The last one, numero 5 of the day. And we are going first, and we're bricked up like Bob the Builder early afternoon. All I have is a Call by the Grave, 2 Max E's, and an Ash. It is what it is. They're going to normal summon the Polar, I'm gonna hit the Ash. Now, I'm mainly showing you this replay because it shows you almost everything that the deck does. Even though we had to use Max E technically for it, but it is what it is. I gotta show you things. You're gonna activate the Spoils and the Polar, special summon the Ash. We can speed this up. Activate the Ash, activate the Polar. I'm gonna let it happen. They're gonna get the Oak to the hand, activate the Ash and itself in the Polar, special summon the Oak, activate the Oak, special summon the Ash, and now they're gonna activate Droll and Logbird, activating the Oak, sending itself in the Ash so they can special summon the Flameberg, activate the Flameberg, bring the Polar to the back row, set down a back row, slam it in the face for the 3000. Now this is why this deck is actually ironically extremely good against Snake Eyes, because we don't have to get rid of this boy so they could start special summoning shenanigans. We could just attack over that thing. So they hit me with the Max C. Like I said, I have an Ash in the back row. I'm feeling joyous, hot and ready. Get me out of here. It's done. So here we're gonna start off by activating our Breath of the Tistinian. They're gonna activate the Flameberg to bring this thing on the field. I'm gonna Max C again, which isn't really gonna matter. I think we have almost everything we need. So they're gonna bring the thing on the field. I join to a Hound, perfect. They're gonna activate the Polar, getting themselves the Divine Temple. So here I'm gonna activate the Breath of the Tistinian so I can special summon that Crystal, because you basically need one of the 2 level 10s on the field to do a lot of the things. So now because we have this thing on the field, I get to flip this thing upside down, getting myself the Divine Domain, activating the Hound, special summon it, activating the Divine Domain. And then because I get to normal summon twice, I get to basically get rid of the Polar to special summon the Tainted of the Tistinian. They're going to activate the Polar, put the Ash in the back row. Here I'm going to activate my Crystal to flip everything upside down, all of the monsters, and every face-up card, send it to the graveyard. So here with both of my level 10s, I make my Tistinian, the divinity that defines darkness. Crazy name, cool card. Why? Make it better, Konami. Anyways, I activate this effect. Also this, don't activate this effect on summon to send this thing to the graveyard, because that would have been bad if I did that. The Flameberg would have activated and special summoned all the other 2 monsters and they would have done things. But either way, I don't think it would have mattered, because now I get to attack directly. Also remember, this thing's effect to attack directly only works because you have to make this deck balance. Freaking Konami. Only works when your opponent has a face down monster on the field. If this thing was face up, you can't attack directly, so remember that. So we attack once and attack twice because we activated the Tainted, which we detach from her. Tainted is gonna allow you to attack twice. We can attack directly because we detach a material while having Tistinia in itself. I get the attack boost. Slap him again. Notice how we use almost every card that we had in the hand though. Just notice that. Just to let you know how good this deck is. But either way, let's go to the deck. Familia, so this is my deck list. Again, if you guys want to play it, which you probably should in a more going second way, because the deck works going second, this one specifically too. It's just the other ones are more for breaking boards and doing all of that. Me, I'll personally hit something with a Book of Eclipse. If it doesn't work, I hope I have the next copy. If it doesn't work, then we go from there. We probably negated 2 things already. Infinite Impermanence can negate something, or bait out and negate. You know how this works. So if you guys have any comment, questions, and concerns, hit me up in the comment section below. Other than that, the deck is dookie, bro. It's really fun though. When it works and it pops off, you feel amazing when you get the W's with this deck. But I D-rank from Diamond 3 to Diamond 5 with this thing. I'm gonna be honest, bro. Really fun to play, but if you pulled it, if you're tight on gems, if you want to have fun, build it. You're gonna have not such a great time. Maybe you're better than me with it though, so you never know. But yeah, no. Dismantle this thing, get your gems. I might dismantle it, I might keep it. I might want to play with Punk to see if I can do some sauciness. But other than that, yeah, bro. Continue having a great day, and I'm gonna catch you guys next time. Peace.